Whoa, are we live? Are we live? Hello everybody, how's it going? Uh I'm Jay and welcome to my live stream. How's everybody tonight? Glad everybody could join us. As always, I try to do two streams every now and again. For those of you who don't know how it works around here, basically on this is fun. On Friday evening, Saturday morning at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I usually do a broadcast for people on the other side of the time zones, and of course, on here in the Eastern Time Zone, I try to do another stream for everybody over here at around 10 p.m. Now, there have been a lot of people on Sundays. Now, there have been a lot of people who have been asking me, you should do an earlier podcast, an earlier stream, probably in the afternoon for anybody else here in the Eastern Standard Time. I am thinking about it. Guys, please let me know in the comments what is the best time zone for everybody and what is the best time for everybody here in the eastern part of the world. Because I can't really stay up any more than 1 o'clock in the morning for the early morning, Saturday morning stream, Friday evening stream. I can't really stay up that late. I do have things to do the next day. So it would really help me out if you guys would tell me what the best time is to stream around that time. Anyway, I want to welcome everybody, and we'll do a couple quick... I'm going to go through a lot of people in the chat right now. I'm surprised. So I'm just going to welcome a few guys here. And then we're going to start talking about tonight's event. All right. So John is here. Good to see him. Grandis 12 is here. I'm not going to read your comments right now. We're going to go through that later, guys. I'm just going to welcome everybody who's in the stream. Princess Kagali is super excited, which is... yeah, that was Centurions was your favorite property apparently. Kid Chuckle, hey, what's going on, Kid Chuckle? Good to see you. And okay, hold on. Heroes World Online says, "Woohoo!" Yeah, how's it going, Heroes World Online? Good to see you. Who is that? Is that John? John, is that you? Let me know. Radical Toys is here. He's good too. Oh, and I almost missed it. Glenn, how's it going, my friend? Pomade. Pomade. Very good to see you. Good evening, everybody. All right. So, Alexandra, good to see you too. Didn't want to leave you out. All right. So, guys, please start asking questions. Feel free to do that. I'm going to have to go back into the questions afterwards, though. We'll take a couple of breaks during this. This was sort of an unplanned thing, to be perfectly honest with you. I got so excited about what I learned in the past. Holy crap! In the past 24 hours, I got really excited about what I found out, and I've been following this for a while. So it kind of was like completely under the radar in terms of what I was paying attention to. So this is one of those things where they call it kismet, right? It's like fate, right? Something's happened, and this is what happens in life. So anyway. I want to introduce, of course, my special guest tonight. He's been on my live stream a couple times already. He's helped me to improve the quality of my live streams. The video quality that you see now is mainly because of my friend here who helped me to figure out how to get this all done, because he told me that it's able to use your DSLR camera to actually get better results. So, guys, without further rambling and me stumbling over my words, I want to introduce to you again, because a lot of you have already met him in my past streams. I want to introduce to you Mr. Ace Liber of Ramen Toy. Ace.
Hey, Jay.
How's it going?
It's good
to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Man, it's been only what, a week since
a week?
the last time we were on, and in that week, so many things have happened. I mean, like a lot of things have happened. Some things that I never expected. You were sneaky about this, eh? Like I didn't even know what was happening behind the scenes. We talked about some stuff. That you took us on a tour of your factory at one point. It was really. I was already very impressed with what you showed us in the other past live streams and what we talked about. Your customizations, a lot of the stuff that you've done in the past. But I had no idea what I was expecting when I heard about what was going on with this project that we're about to talk about tonight. First of all, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody here in the stream? and take it away.
All right, thank you, Jay. Well, you can call me Ace, aka Caliber, aka Noel, aka Ramen. So I am just a simple guy who has a passion for what we all love, which is collectibles, skill models. And I took it upon myself to produce these things as a life career. So I don't do anything else besides some other YouTube channel, but mainly I am focused on trying to recreate what I had experienced as a child of the 80s. And this is the best time that we're in to actually have those memories fulfilled once again. So I'm so happy to be like yourself collecting the new Masters of the Universe figures that I've missed back in the day, and I have the chance to do a few more things. So over back to you.
That's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about how we met, Ace. Just before, just to get things a little, to get everybody comfortable and knowing where we, what little history you and I have together. So Ace and I, which is kind of funny. I'm gonna do there. That's much better, guys. You have to forgive me. I'm still learning the software, and I was like, "Wow, it's so small. That's not a good view. That's not a good view for people to see us." All right. So anyway, funnily enough, I've been experimenting with these live streams for quite some time, and I've had some success. But my picture quality was actually quite poor. So one night when I was actually doing a live stream at 1 o'clock in the morning. To test out this new software, StreamYard, the logo is actually in front of Ace over there. Ace came on that night, and this is the first time we ever met. And he started talking about how StreamYard is very useful, and we can actually have these interactive conversations, and that he can actually be brought into the conversation right away. And I had no idea about these things. I was completely lost with this new StreamYard software. So he literally walked me. He said, "Yeah, okay, there's an icon down here. And you can just click it, and we can start sharing, and we can start talking." And I was like, "Okay, fine. What am I doing? How do I do this?" And all of a sudden, I somehow managed to get his face here, exactly the way it is right now. If you guys go back on some of the live streams that I did, you'll see that Ace was there, and he's walking me through all this process. What were you thinking at that point, Ace? I mean, like, why would you help just a stumbling YouTuber like that? What were you thinking?
Well, Jay, you are too modest. You're not stumbling. You have like over 3K subscribers, so you know what you're doing. All I did was that I saw your stream, and obviously you had certain things that weren't currently in place. And as the person that I am, I like to help out. I like to do the good stuff, right? So I just offered some opinions, and hopefully it wasn't seen as trying to be overly arrogant or telling you like you got this wrong, got that wrong. So, but I was just helping out, right? So if you did what I suggested and you find that it's good, then I think I've done a good thing.
Oh, come on. Yeah. The picture quality alone is 200 times better than it was before. I put a light up here so I can see myself better, so everybody can see myself better. Honestly, Ace, you helped me. So just randomly, right? And that's how we met. I mean, like, it was just one of those magical things. So then the very next time we met, we started talking about your career, right? Like what you started doing and where you came from, and the fact that you were a manufacturer of toys. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I actually have basically a whole second part of my life. All of my life, I was actually in toys. From a kid to, I guess the only time I wasn't really into toys was when I was doing my tertiary education in mechanical engineering, and as well as my time when I was in the army serving. As a Singaporean, I am required to serve 2 years as in the military.
Wow.
That's mandatory. So during those times, so the 2 years that I was serving and the 3 years that I was in what we call the polytechnic, I was basically not really involved in toys, but more involved in like music, chasing girls, stuff like that. So after the military service, that was when I was just before 21. I got into like an insurance kind of business. Did that for a few months, and didn't really work out for me. And what did I do next? I went to eBay and I sold all my toys, and that's how I started. So that picked up, and then I ran out of toys to sell, and I started to go to Japan in 2000, and I bought more toys from Japan, and I sold that on eBay. And you can actually also see me on eBay as Black Aces. I was I guess pretty prominent back in the day, 2000 to 2005, and that's when in 2005 was when I decided, okay, I've enough of the life as an eBayer, and I'm gonna now go to Hong Kong and try to get a stable job to continue the rest of my life. And I was introduced also by another fellow toy collector who's very big in the US. He's a great avid lifelong supporter in Comic Cons. Some of you know him as XS Toys. So he it's a small circle, right? So he gave me some links about who to contact in Hong Kong, and I packed my bags, went over to Hong Kong, and I joined this company that was doing online sales in collectibles. And then this company soon went on to develop a brand called Popbox Collectibles. And with its maiden project being Irobot, they made the Isaac Asimov's NS5 into a 1:12 scale bust. So I was involved in that. That was the first time I saw factory action, so to speak. And from then on, they were searching for other licenses to further the brand. And that's when they took on the Robotech license. And back in the day,
you worked on the Robotech license?
Yeah. So back in the day, when
is there anything we can look at? Is there articles or anything that we can have a look at?
Oh yeah, if you actually Google my name, Noel Lee, NOELLEE, and Popbox, you can actually.
Give me 1 second. Let me see what we Popbox.
Box, yeah, POPBOX.
Okay, Action Figure Hub. That's what pops up.
That's the one.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Whoa, hold on. Okay, let's share this. Give me. How do I do this? You're gonna have
how to do it.
You need to help me here. Whoa! What happened there? Hold on.
That's fine.
Hold on. Is that it? Can you see it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So talk us through this. This is you.
Yeah. A younger me. With that hair.
Wow. So that's the iRobot. Oh, that's iRobot right there.
Yeah, the iRobot NS5,
wow.
And we also did an NS4. So basically, the company took these statues, and I was involved basically with some of the prototypes in terms of painting it. And the factory took over the manufacturing, and so that was the brief history of how I started in this thing in terms of factory. And over there you see the next line.
That's nice. That's Hikuru. That's Hikuru. Oh my God, that's Hikuru.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So this was a joint venture, like a collaboration between Popbox Collectibles and Toynami, who then had the they still had the license for Robotech and Macross. And back in this era of 2000 and 5 or early 2000s till 2007, the 12-inch figures were very hot back then, right? And I guess even now. So that's when we had the idea, how about we do some 12-inch figures of Robotech? So I gave the idea to the people at Popbox Collectibles who had the connection to Toynami. And that's when, we got this together and got this on the road, and we just did these figures. Some of them call them dolls, but to me they are figures.
Are they 9-inch? Are they 6-inch?
12-inch.
12-inch. Oh wow.
12-inch. Yeah, 12-inch. Yeah.
So these are Toynami. These were released by Toynami then?
It's a joint venture between Toynami and Popbox. So it's released by Popbox, but co-brand with Toynami because Toynami had the license.
Yeah, they were $79.99 and $95 at the time. Wow.
Yeah.
The sculpts look great. I love the helmets and the Oh wow!
I was actually involved heavily in the development of the pilot suit in terms of how the helmet looked and how the backpack looked and everything, because the way the third party, the people who were involved between us and the factory back then, the agent, so to speak, so they were handling all these drawings. And when I looked at them, we gave them the artwork to follow, and when I looked at what they have done, it was not correct. So I had to do lots of changes, lots of direction, and the final product that you see on the screen right now is a result of my effort.
So this is based off of Do You Remember Love?
Exactly right. Right? Exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is not the Macross TV series. I can tell.
Nope.
Yeah, that's amazing. Holy cow!
Thank you.
What's this?
Oh, so that is done by Digger Mesh from Deep Entertainment. So back then they were having the license, Civil War. See, so Digger's name is there. So he's a great artist, sculptor, and he was doing these sculpts for Wolverine, and I think there was also a Juggernaut. So we helped them to produce as the manufacturing. Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
These are resin stuff. Yeah.
Oh wait, there's Transformers stuff here.
Yeah, and then the company also took on the Transformers license when the first movie was done by Steven Spielberg, Paramount. And, we jumped on the bandwagon and got a license to make these Transformers novelties, because back then the company was still sort of, I guess, not very experienced with other forms of manufacturing. So we started with simple things like metal coins, PVC figures, magnet heads, stuff like that. And then we went on to do some more complicated stuff like the bust. You will see like the Optimus Prime head and Bumblebee bust.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So these are magnet heads.
Magnet heads.
Magnet head. So it's basically just a magnet and a head, and you put it onto the fridge or the whiteboard.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The fridge magnets. Okay.
Yeah. Again, cool. This was in line with what I think Kotobukiya was doing with the Star Wars.
Oh, Kotobukiya.
Right? So magnet hits. So yeah. So we just
holy cow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So yeah. So that's incredible. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So Ace, I know you talked a little bit with me about your the Transformers that you've done and a lot of other things that you've been connected with. I didn't know you had that. I didn't know you had anime in your repertoire. I would have been like all geeking over you like that. That just blew my mind right there. Like seeing Hikuru and Max. Did you have anything to do with the Valkyries at the time? Because like those things are amazing.
No, not at the time, but now I do. So now I was able to make the die-cast Valkyries.
Oh man!
So
you better not show any Transformers fans that they're gonna freak out. So, oh my gosh!
Yeah,
that's incredible. Holy crap! So that's wow. So that's a little bit more about what you've been able to do in your history. So you know what? Let's take a quick break here and let's see if there are any questions in the stream. I'm just going to go. Wow. Oh, okay. The chat's going crazy. So unfortunately, guys, I'm not going to any greetings. I'm just going to pass over. We're just going to do a couple of questions. So let's see what's happening here. So Road Pig John, he says, I want to know if. Sorry, Ace, do you want to read that one?
So I want to know if one of the faces, human heads in the 80s Commandos is going to be accurate to the characters in the 80s animation. Well, Jay, I sent you some images. Would you like to pull them out?
Yeah, you know what? Let's see if there are any other ones which are a little easier because that's like me. I'm not as good with this technology yet. Then
sure.
Okay, so Grandizer, I got 2 radio shows on. Okay, that's the. Does anybody else have any questions? Hold on. Okay, Princess Kagali, super excited, especially since Centurions were mentioned. Let's see here. Okay, so Road Pig John again says 80s Commanders will come with 3 heads, faces, each figure, and I would like to know if one of those. You know what? Maybe we should actually start talking about the Commanders in a second, but I'm going to find out if there's any other questions just before we get started. Payment invoice. Heroes World Online is here. I Love Emily's here. Good to see you. I'm just going to do some greetings here. Fizzo G, good to see you. Mr. Baxtastic, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Eric Liu, good to see you. Mnemonic Syntax, Ace McLeod, yo. I Love Emily again. Princess Cagley. Oh, wait. Kevin Masters. Here's a question. Hey, bro, why did Ramen choose to recreate the Centurions, and any chance of looking at other toy lines like Dino Riders? Okay, so just some background. Kevin Masters is obsessed with Dino Riders, so there's something you might want to look into at one point. So I'm not going to ask any questions just yet. I'm just looking through if there were any other questions which are easier to answer. So far, everyone is just sitting tight and I guess listening to us, which is good. Yeah, that's your advice. Yep, everyone's talking amongst themselves, which is good. All right, so what? Here's a new hashtag. Where was it? I just saw it.
Did I show a video?
Obsessed with Dino Riders. That's what it is.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So anyway, let's go ahead and let's talk about what everyone is really here to talk about, or is interested in talking about. Now, just for a little background, this really is not like I originally didn't want this to become, a big thing. I just wanted to have a chat with Ace here because I got super excited when I saw this. So let me talk about what happened here and why we're actually here. So I'm gonna just do this for a quick second. So back, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I first heard about this project, and it was called 80s Commander. And I first found out about it through a channel called Tidarium Hangar. They do a lot of Transformers news, a lot of toy news and stuff like that. So he started talking about these 80s Commanders. And immediately, the first thing that shot into my head, of course, was one of the best cartoons of the 1980s. It was Centurions, and I got super excited because I saw these amazing-looking renders, and my mind just kind of like went everywhere. My mind was blown. So, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show what I saw. So, hold on. Of course, I broke the internet just there. Yeah, this is what they showcased. They showcased these amazing photos. And immediately I was like, oh my God, this is a dream come true. I lost my freaking Transformers, guys. Sorry, my freaking Centurions, guys. I can't believe it. After all this time, I lost them. So I've always been wanting to pick them up and look at them again after so long. And seeing these amazing looking photos, I was in heaven, right? So then fast forward a few weeks later, and they started talking about pre-orders. And I was going crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, pre-orders are coming up. This is going to be nuts. And I was all in on this project. So basically, I am definitely gonna grab the early bird as quickly as I can, just so you guys know. But then, what ended up happening was I found out on the Foosh that Ace had done a live stream to talk a little bit more about the project. And I was like, cool, I can hear a bit more about the project. And I went on to Ramen Toy and on their Facebook page, and who shows up? It's Ace. And I was literally like, oh my God, I think I know this guy. So Ace, let's talk about 80s Commander. What the heck, man? What made you do this project? This is insane. I am in love with this project, and I don't even, just by what I've been able to see. What prompted you? What inspired you to do this? This is crazy.
Well, that is a tough question. I don't think I have the definitive answer. All I can say is that it just came in one day, because again, I am an 80s kid, and there's lots of stuff that I want to do, and I'm in a position to be able to do it. But of course, everything needs to be done with certain parameters. There are certain rules in place. You can't just do anything you like. So with those things in mind, and the fact that there are such things in our market, in the scene of collectibles, there is such things called third parties. That's when I thought to myself, okay, since I am not able to maybe go legit with certain things, how about if I do it this way, and with my designs, try to see if it's something that's acceptable to the fans, because not everything that you redesign and stylize is acceptable to everybody, right? For myself, when I was looking for inspiration, when I was searching online, and this actually goes back to 2014, if I'm not mistaken, I actually met up with some people in San Diego Comic-Con, and I was pitching the idea about myself potentially doing certain properties. And, if they could support me and get the license, we could go in this direction. And I was looking online for various renditions of what's already been done. Some of them look like, Halo figures. Some of them look kind of extreme. No pun intended, in another form. And I thought to myself, nah, this is
I see what you did there.
yeah, this is not what I think is accept. I mean, this is not what I think would be nice in terms of a mass-produced product. It could be good as a one-off because it's like a customization from somebody. No problems there. With all due respect, it's all good. It's all art. But what else could I do that could potentially make this better than what we see in terms of customizations? So we have a very talented friend who does sculpting, and what I did was I just gave the idea and he did the rest. And from then on, I was able to give directions on how to change certain things, because I'm basically more of a director. I don't do hands-on sculpting. I can tell them how this should look better this way, reference that, make this smaller, make that bigger. So that's where I came in. I give all my directions, like what I do with all my projects. I give directions, and the ultimate the final product that you see would be what is based on my input. And yeah, so coming back, I thought to myself that if I delayed any further, somebody else might do it. So why don't I just do it first? So that's what we did. Did we lose Jay? Is your mic off?
Sorry about that. Again,
right, okay, great.
I'm tripping over it. I'm just so excited. So yeah, I'm just cycling through a few of the images here, and they do look amazing. So, so you did not sculpt these yourself, then, Noel? This is definitely a more talented artist who's done these sculptures.
Yeah, credit where due. Yeah, I think he's listening in. So yeah,
that's excellent. You know what? So I told a few people about tonight's stream, and they didn't even have any idea what I was talking about. Right?
Okay.
They knew what Centurions was. They knew what the property was. But then when I said, "Look, check these out," it blew their minds. A lot of people were just like, "Oh my God, this is exactly what I've always wanted." And you know what? I told them about. I'm not. I just wanted to tell them about the project because I was excited about it. But when they finally started seeing it, everyone's minds were blown. So, getting on that, I think we should go back to that question then. Actually, so before we go back to the questions, these particular figures themselves, right? They are stylized in a very specific version, but how did he come up with is he a fan? I think that's really what I want to say. Is your artist a fan of the show, or did he just follow your direction?
I believe he followed my direction more so than being a fan.
Yeah, I think that helps.
Yeah,
because then he can actually put in his own style into it, right? Because as a fan like me, the problem with being fans is I want it to be 100%, but you can't do that, right? Yeah. So I think that not being a fan actually really helps in this scenario. So I noticed that this one, I think you mentioned something about this particular
reduction. Yeah. So what we did is that from this final prototype, so the initial renders were done on the computer, and it was a little bit tricky to be placing different weapons on different sections of the body. So it's better for us to actually plug it out from a prototype and put it there versus like programming and putting it on, So that's what we did. So initially when we had the 3D render, we were not able to fully appreciate the size of certain things on the model, right? We thought that was good. And when we finally have it as a 3D product, as a prototype, we then realized, oh, some things should be smaller. And exactly that particular launch missile on his arm is too big, and we're going to reduce that by 15%. Likewise, for the armor commander, in one of the initial prototypes, he had a huge bazooka-style missile launcher that was way too big. I mean, it looked good, right? But it was not practical if you were going to put it onto his shoulder. So we reduced that size dramatically. Well, we hope that we are not perceived as short-changing collectors, that we showed them something big and now we're making it small. That's not the case. We're actually making it, we're bettering it per se, right?
Yeah, practicality is a big thing.
Yeah.
Because, later on the road, it's too heavy, right? And it actually starts falling off the character and people get upset. Yeah. Right? I mean, that happens all the time. It's funny how people, they love it when they first take it out of the box, and then all of a sudden they start playing with it, and they're like, "Oh, this sucks." So, yeah, it's great that you're thinking about that kind of stuff, Ace. So, speaking of,
so like I said, we're not just basically copying anything. We're actually inputting artistic conditions. We are always thinking about how to make it better. There's lots of considerations. It's not like, again, it is not something that we just think that, oh, this is a project that we can sell and make some money. No. We are making it as a baby first. Whether it sells or not is the next step, which is why I started the Facebook page like way back in January, because I had no idea. I had no idea how people would react to what we've done, right? It might be a total thumbs down, right? So we had to put it out and get the feeling. And, there was a timeline set for this project. And, I had to know for myself whether am I going to put all this time and effort and it's going to reap something, or I should just, pull the plug, right? So if the Facebook page was like nobody's commenting, nobody was sharing, then probably we will do something else. Put it back as an idea. Thank you very much, and we'll do something else. But no, we got like 1,000 likes within a month, and our first video had like 50,000 views and like 200 overshares, and and that, to me, of course, views and shares doesn't equate to a sale, but at least that tells me that it's not something that is a waste. Somebody is interested.
People are interested.
Yeah.
People want to see this property, right? They're definitely interested in seeing these figures.
Right. So initially we had the idea to make it into 7 inches tall, 1/10 scale, because that was what we sort of saw in terms of our. Well, it's just what we saw, right? 7-inch would be something that's good and big and nice, but we had comments that, oh, make it 1/12, make it 6-inch, and then we was like, oh no, we will do it 7-inch, we'll do it our way. And then there was more comments saying that you got to do a 6-inch, and then we sat back and thought a bit further and said, okay, all right, we'll do it 6-inch. So we I think wasted the prototype.
Yeah, I think 6-inch works. The reason I say that is because, the Centurions originally, when they were like almost 9 inches, right? They were gigantic.
Yeah,
but
gigantic.
When you look at every other line that's out there right now, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, any of these other properties, right? Masters of the Universe classics, all these guys, they're close to 6-inch or slightly higher. So these commanders will fit in right with that line, and you could have them all on one shelf, and they can all be interchangeable with each other. And a lot of people like to customize, so it's a good idea, in my opinion. So I think that's great. Okay, so you know what? Let's take a break and let's take a look at some if there are any questions in the chat, and we'll start to actually answer them. So I know Road Pig John did ask about something specific, and we're going to get to that. We're going to showcase that actually, because I got some amazing images from Ace earlier today that blew my mind. So I'd like to share those with you guys. So Road Pig John asks, I want to know when Ace started this 80s project. So Ace, when exactly did this happen? Was it a few months, a year? When did you get started?
It was last year during COVID. I think it was about maybe June. So just less than a year ago.
Wow, things move really, really quickly, eh?
Yeah, you got to move fast, right? To catch the early bird, you got to move fast.
Okay. Oh, wait. Princess Kaguli says that rebuilt Evangelion Unit 1 in the background is so cool.
This one? This one is actually done by a Japanese. Well, this is actually sculpted by I think the creator or something, right? This is I forgot the name exactly, but this is. Oh man, help me out here! It's a recent PVC. Yeah, it's a project
PVC.
by Kyoto. Yeah, so
got you. Okay, so everyone's chatting.
The reason why I have this is because I know the factory that does this. So
nice.
Yeah. So.
Excellent. So Glenn Cruz says respect Ace. So
thank you so much. Thank you so much. I respect you as well.
Kevin, hey bro, why did Ramen choose to recreate Centurions and any chance of looking at other toy lines like Dino Riders? So this was asked earlier, but I think
we answered. I think we answered a bit of that. Centurions. Well, 80s Commandos. So I think I answered that because I was a fan of the. I was a boy, a kid of the 80s, and among them, I actually bought the toys, and I didn't buy everything. We didn't have the money back then. I actually only bought the green one and the red one. So now's the time for me to have a chance to make some. So yeah,
that's amazing. I've always wanted to make upgraded versions, and you're living that. You're doing that. That's amazing. But what about Dino Riders? Because that's what Kevin was actually asking about. Have you ever heard of Dino Riders? Because it was
I've heard of kind of Tycho, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So I am also I never bought any Dino Riders per se. Although I saw them on television at the commercials, I saw them in the stores. But I was never really a Dino Rider person. So forgive me, I don't have the passion. If I don't have the passion for something, I can't do it, right? I have got to have the passion for something, and then I can make it good. Like Steve Jobs always said that you can only do great work if you love what you do. So even though there's love for Dino Riders, but maybe who knows, one day if I can get the connection, I might do it. But right now I don't have it, so I can't do it. So that's the answer. Yeah.
Totally understood. And again, it's one of those things you have to concentrate on what you're doing presently. And if you divide your time too much, you're not gonna do a great job for everything. So everyone's talking amongst themselves. 1,000 Ghosts here. Welcome, 1,000 Ghosts. Fizo G. Everyone's talking, which is great. So Heroes World had to go, but he's gonna watch it again when he gets online. Noel, thank you. Thanks for your service to the nation. I totally understand what you're saying. Cheers.
So is Grandizer Singaporean?
He might be talking about something. Grandizer 12? Oh no, that's why Kevin, everybody's talking, which is good. Again, the chat got away from me. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just going through and seeing if there's any actual questions, and of course shouting out to anybody I haven't done it. Okay, Princess Kaguli says, "Man, that Hikuru and Maximilian looks so good."
Yeah, those were done back in 2007. Yeah.
Grandizer 12. Okay, yeah. Again, everyone's just a lot of people are just talking about. Okay, so Kevin says, "Bring back Dino Rider toys." He's really obsessed with Dino Riders. Yeah, everyone's just been listening to our conversation, and everyone's been talking amongst themselves, which is good. Okay, here we go. Mr. Backstastic says, "What are some future projects that you're working on?" Ace, I think you should. My opinion is you should stick to one project first.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so mnemonic syntax. I'd like to know if the necks will be covered. The original toys didn't have them covered, and it always bugged me.
Well, I think we've designed it in such a way that the necks are pretty much covered. You can see it. First of all, the fact is that the original toys, the helmet is PVC. It's soft. It covers over the head in such a way. But ours is a two-piece helmet, just like the Macross pilot suit that you saw earlier from Popbox. So it opens up in halves, and you actually put it together. So it's a nice snug fit. It also ensures that the helmet is not oversized, because when you have a helmet over another head and it's a toy, it's not a real human. Your hair, you can't compress your hair. There's a certain volume inside, there's a certain thickness. So if the helmet is going to fit a toy just like that, it's going to be a huge helmet. So it's going to disrupt the proportion. So the only reason to do it is through some production magic and putting it this way. And therefore we have a ball head inside, and the head is a generic head. It won't be differentiated between the three commanders, so that particular head is when you can actually put the helmet on, you can see the eyes, and that's enough, because you can't see anything else. So we can't really, and there's no space for anything else to be on that head. So that's how it goes.
So I think now is a good time to answer Rodpig John's original question: what will the heads look like? And because this is actually related to that question. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to break the internet again.
Yes.
So here we go. Everybody get ready for broken. There we go. I broke it.
Oh, that's not bad. Not bad. Okay.
It's all broken. Okay. And now we'll go ahead and we will try and find. There it is. All right. So these are brand new screens that were shared to me by, of course, I screwed that up. Sorry about that, guys. Here we go again. All right. So these are brand new screens, which Ace has shared with me. So yeah, this is looking amazing. All right, Ace, why don't you walk us through this? And tell me when to switch.
Yeah. So this just basically showed the initial concept of how we had one body and three heads, as well as only one helmet. So these were basically for tooling purposes. We decided on only doing one body, although we know that there are three different designs, but we can't do three different designs because it's going to be too expensive. So let's just be practical and just do one body, right? After all, yeah, go ahead. Yes.
But that eventually changed, because we know that the helmets became very stylized afterwards, right?
Right. So we only listen and develop two more helmet designs, but we are still keeping to one body because we just cannot do three different bodies, and it's going to be too much money to be for tooling, and for the amount that we are planning or projecting that we could sell, is not going to be practical. So we're sticking with one body, and we just did two more helmets. And yeah, I think there's lots of questions that was asked about, are we doing the other weapon systems? Are we doing the other characters? We must not forget that all these things are not grown on trees. It takes money, it takes time, and it takes money, right? So if we are not able to turn a reasonable profit, we are not able to reinvest into all these other, what they call the blue sky ideas, right? You can everything. You can want to have everything from the blue sky, but at the end of the day, it has to be backed up by the moolah, right? If there's no moolah, there is no nothing. So that's where I'm coming from. Yeah.
So the heads here though are different though, right? They're all unique sculpts.
Yes, of course we have the unique sculpts, because that's actually what the essence of the characters are. They have unique head sculpts, and we have done the unique head sculpts, and you can see from these renders that they have unique features, and ultimately when we do the actual coloration, then you can see how the head looks like. And of course we will have all the experience and references from Mo2 heads, from Marvel Legend heads, on how to make eyes, on how to make colors. So initially people want to see how the head looks. We can't show that now because we're not at that stage yet. There are many things that it's a chicken and the egg scenario, right? People want to see everything now, but I can't do everything now if I don't do this particular step, which is tooling. So we have only gotten to the stage now where we're tooling, and for test shots and coloration samples. It has got to be, patient, and we will show that probably in 2 months' time. So that's the projection.
Amazing, and I think that that should have answered John's question. I think, as well as
I hope so.
The necks themselves. I think the actual other question was they're pretty much covered. I think if we look at the renders here, yeah, it comes right up to the base, right? So
yeah.
But if it's not completely covered, that could be an add-on in the future. I don't
know. well, the fact that if you want the helmet or the head to articulate, then you got to have it's physics. You got to have a GIF. You can't have something that's connected and then you can rotate, right? We're not there yet. So, what do you want? Do you want to rotate or do you want it covered? You choose one.
Everyone wants their cake, right? Everyone wants the cake.
Yeah.
All right. So mnemonic syntax and of course Roadpig John, thank you for those questions. They were great. Let's see if there's any other particular questions for. Okay, here we go. Okay, no, that was the same question. Kevin, you got to stop asking the same questions over and over again. That's literally the same question, and I think we answered it already. Where else do we have here? Do we have any other questions? Okay, so Mark44 Prime, welcome to the stream. He asks, he says, so glad you decided to do Centurions. I've been waiting a long time, and they look excellent. So you have a fan there, Ace.
Thank you.
Sorry, Ace, I didn't hear what you said.
Oh no, I said thank you. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yep, he already asked that question. Kevin, we're definitely. I think everyone's going to look into Dino Riders from now on. You are really telling everybody. All right, Roadpig John again. Ace, tell us about which were your favorite animations from the '80s, and which are the ones that mark you as a fan for life.
Wow, fan for life. Fan for life. I would say that Macross has a deep connection with myself. I also love. Let's see. Well, to be honest, I'm not really an animation person. I don't really watch the animation. I sort of get the toys. So the first time I actually saw a Macross thing was when I had the toy in my hand. I had no idea how I got it, but I definitely had a 1:100 scale Takatoku VF1J in my hands. I was playing with it, I know. But how I actually got to get that, I have no idea. So most likely I was a kid that I was shopping around, and I guess my mom got it for me. Another one that I had a very vivid memory is when I was shopping, and I saw the joke machine, the Bandai high comical joke machine on the VF1, and I instantly bought that, the VF1S. I instantly bought that. Even I kept that till now. It's somewhere in my house in Singapore. So in terms of animation, there are a few that I did watch, like Evangelion, some Mask. I watched some Ultraman. Used to remember coming back from school every time to catch a 6:30 Ultraman screenings on TV. But yeah, I'm actually more of a physical person. I like scale models. I like stuff that appeals to me visually as a 3D form. I even got some Zoids back in the day, but I never watched any of the Zoids animation, so apologies. Again, like I said, I do really I can really connect with people that knows their stuff. They read the comics, they watch the animation, so they know exactly what it is. But at the end of the day, what I am focused on is how to get those things that you like in the animation in a 3D form, something that you can hold in your hand, something that is accurate. So that is what I am actually more having a forte for. So I hope that answers your question.
I think that that proved that you are definitely a super fan, but in a slightly different way. I think some people have I look at it this way in what you explained. Transformers came out before the cartoon, and the same thing with He-Man, and same thing with all of them. So I remember when I first started playing He-Man, I was actually pretending that it was this barbarian. Right, I made up my own storyline. I didn't know how to. I barely knew how to read these comic books, so I made up my own storyline. I made up Snake Woman and Barbarian and Cat. You know what I mean? I didn't really even know the names. I was still sort of calling them whatever. But then when the cartoon came and joined it all together, I went nuts. There you go. There's an Origins He-Man, a wonderful property, by the way, guys. We have one question here that says it's from Kid Chuckle, and it says, "Will there be spring action feature?"
No, negative, because we had thought about it, and it just complicates matters. It's already hard enough these days to ensure quality at the factory. So if you want to have spring, you want to have something in the chest that rotates. You're talking about mechanisms, and yeah, I mean, I can be reprimanded for saying, how can you be so lazy? But no, it's all a matter of, at the end of the day, are these necessary, right? By having all these, does it mean if you don't have it, it's a deal breaker? So we feel that these are all adult collectibles. We are doing it so that it looks, it's for us to display on our shelves, so that we, can look at it and love it for what they are. And we're not going to really play with it. I'm not a player of toys. I'm not sure about you. So yeah, there are no spring-loaded mechanisms, but it should still work out.
That's totally understandable. Gimmicks are great for younger kids, but I guess these are more adult collectibles, is what's going on. So, and again, the memories alone make me excited. I'm really excited on getting one of these figures. 1000 Ghosts says, "I would love to get some of these. Can't wait to buy." Kevin Grand Desert 12 says, "They should have also chosen to do Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future. If they could get the rights, or somewhat similar, or because it's similar to Centurions." Do you remember Captain Power, Noel?
Yes, the golden armor. Is that right?
Yes, the golden armor. Some had gold. Yeah. Like the main character had gold armor. The Ace had he had silver armor. Pilot actually had very shiny armor. Tank had this camouflage tank armor. What was it called? Scout. He had a very generic armor, but he could transform into different characters. Right. And Lord Dread had black armor. So yeah, very interesting characters. That's a property which is very beloved, but at the same time also very, very niche. So it's something. Yeah. Mr. Backtastic says, "What other 80s properties would you love to work on if you could?"
That's a good question. See, not a loaded one. It's a good question. Starcom Visionaries.
Yeah. You're crazy. Are you serious? Visionaries would be impossible, I think.
Nothing's impossible.
Hard to make, right? Like they're crazy to make holograms.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Oh my gosh!
You know what, Jay?
Ace, I am just that hole. People are gonna get upset.
No, you know what, Jay? I always make things difficult. I make the difficult things. I think John F. Kennedy said we chose to go to the moon not because it's easy, but because it's hard, right? So everything I make is hard. Nothing I make is easy. I don't make a simple Doraemon figure that is all round shape and simple. With all due respect, I don't make a simple like a Sonic Hedgehog or a Mega Man that's simple. I make complicated stuff, right? I do my military jets that has an engine that opens up, nose that opens up. I do the difficult stuff. Even this 80s Commandos.
80s Commanders, that's right. 80s Commanders.
Okay. If everybody think about it and just seriously give a moment to think about it, the 80s Commanders is very different from a Marvel Legend or anything else, right? Or even the He-Man back there, right? Why do I say that? Because their body are solid. It's a solid body. It's easier to make a solid body than a body that has basically two parts joined together, because there's no way you can do a solid body with all these pack holes. It has to be a very precise engineering. Okay. Another point, all these holes is making things difficult because if any of the pegs are misaligned just by a little bit, you'll have problems joining it. So some of the pegs are joined by 4 pegs, some are by 2, and most of them by 1. So 1 is easy, right? 1 you can just hook onto 1. 2 a little bit more tough because you need to make sure that the 2 holes are in line for every single part of the body that has 2, whether it's 2 down or 2 across. Now when you have 4, then I'm making sure that every hole on that 4 corners are in line. So this is a challenge, and this is why most people may not understand the difficulty of doing this line. Back to you, Jay. Are you still there, Jay? All right, Jay has probably got disconnected. Oh, there you go. Okay.
No, sorry, I did the opposite. I thought I was mute, and then I was mute. That's crazy. It's good to have these insights into toy manufacturing and what it takes to manufacture these toys. Obviously, with gimmicks and launchers, and so you have to actually add springs. You have to actually add gears. Yeah, and tooling must be impossible for those things. So it's amazing that companies like the bigger companies are able to do this at such a level that they do. But I would imagine that toy adult collectibles, you don't have to worry about putting your eye out, but at the same time, these gimmicks are very expensive at the end, and it adds to the cost of the figure at the end of the day, right? Is that correct?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so Sleeping Collectible seems to.
Hey, Stephen, how was the honeymoon in Disneyland? You're a great guy, man. Kudos, good stuff, man.
So Sleeping, Ace knows who you are, and it looks like everybody from the Sleeping Collectibles channel has basically come into the stream, which is awesome. Thank you, everybody. So everybody from the Sleeping Collectibles community, welcome. Thank you, guys, especially Sleeping. Welcome to you as well. Oh my gosh, Space Buns is here too. Wow, everybody's here from the Sleeping Collectibles crew, which is amazing. So guys, welcome. If you have any questions for Ace, please let us know. So yeah, everybody, we have been rated. So Trailer Park Cinderella, those Toy Junkies, GeForce 20, Ben from the Bunker, Cold Bayan Games. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna. I cycled through you guys all, but I just want to quickly say hi to everybody. Yeah, welcome. You guys are always welcome in the stream. Terradrome Toys. Everybody says hello from Sleeping. Absolutely, Sleeping. You brought the whole crew. Thank you so much. John Joker. Hello. Hi, Megan. You guys are crazy, but thank you guys for coming. Let's see who else. It's all Sleeping. Everybody's coming for Sleeping. NASCAR Fan Gamer. Are we almost done, guys? David Correll. They've literally taken over the stream. This is so great. Chadtastic, Raid from Sleeping. This is awesome. What else do we have here? Destination Stone. They just keep coming, Noel. Look at this. This is amazing. We have been raided. I need some mods to actually stop this from happening. Toy Slammer. Hi, Jay. Good to see you guys. You guys are awesome. Seriously.
Awesome.
Okay, so finally, we have something. Mark 44 Prime. I can see your company doing some sick ass Guyver figures. I love the Guyver. Do you like the Guyver, Ace?
Yeah, I love the Guyvers. And I think Max Factory did a fantastic job in the early 2000s with the Guyver 1, 2, and 3 and all the creatures. And nowadays, if you want to find those creatures, they go for a lot on eBay. So yeah, they think they did a good job. I think at the moment, in order to do a better one than them will be a tough one, a tough ask. Yeah, that's my opinion.
All right, I'm actually seeing some questions now, so we're gonna try and get some. Wow, there's so many things in the chat right now. It's just crazy. I wish I could show you. All right, they talk about Captain Power. Sledge, good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming. What scale is this?
112, 6-inch.
6-inch, yeah. Rogue Big John confirmed that. Kevin really wants you to do Dino Riders, Ace. 1000 Ghosts. This night is far too out, but what is the this is far too out. But what is the packaging gonna look like? Big box with window, or is it going to be on a peg?
It will be inspired by classified GI Joe, where it's a box window. It's not going to be on a cart for sure. It's a window box. Yeah.
Is there any possibility it could look like the retro box from the original? Because I think those would be neat.
I've got that question asked before in the other podcast, but I've explained it that having a non-uniform shape would not be good for shipping and for shipping in general. So we want to keep it back to something that's sane. So a rectangular box will be fine. Yeah.
These boxes are notorious. They come in the regular box.
Yes.
But pulling it out of that box is terrible because it actually scratches. It actually scratches the finish. So I totally agree with your decision. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That makes a heck of a lot of sense. Okay. Ramen, I want to know why you let's just go ahead and answer this definitively because Kevin is not going to stop until we actually answer this question.
Even if after you answer it,
he just keeps asking it over and over again.
Yeah.
Ramen, I want to know why you chose to recreate Centurions. A great job. Any plans of doing other toy lines like Dino Riders? Let's just put this to bed. Kevin, please. We're going to put this to bed right now. What do you say, Ace?
I'm so sorry, Kevin. I don't think I have the capacity or the bandwidth to do what you want. So I'm sorry for that. Yeah.
So not right now, Kevin. Okay, I think that definitively answers your question. I think Ace has to concentrate on one project. After that one project's out of the way, he can try doing another project.
Yeah.
Is that fair, Ace?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. So we're going to just scroll through these. All right. Roadpick John says Dino Riders are too complex. Okay, so we're actually going to start getting some real questions. I saw a bunch of them down below. I'm just letting everybody see. Okay. All right, so Rolando Flores says, toy makers say it's hard or expensive to make vehicles. Is this true?
Absolutely true. So we were also discussing recently about that Thunder Tank. That's pretty big, right? Any vehicles that would fit a 6-inch figure would be quite massive, and it is all about the tooling. And the thing about how vehicles in diecast like 1/18 scale, so even 1/18 scale, as you know, 1/18 scale is not big enough for the figures. So you got to do it 1/12, right? So how many 1/12 vehicles do we see out in the market? Let alone that the reason why vehicle makers can actually survive or make a profit is that they can do the same vehicle in various colors. Thus, they what we call amortize the tooling. However, in our case where we have animation, the collectibles that we enjoy, the animation, most of the time these beloved vehicles only come in one signature color. So imagine all that effort to make one vehicle. Am I off air?
We lost your feed.
Hold on. Yeah, I think my camera burned out. Hold on. Well, just give me a second.
Sure, no problem. I'm gonna bring myself back.
Yeah, you just.
Okay, so while Ace is gonna come back, looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take a look at some of these other. So, Kevin, I'm gonna put you on a timeout. Please stop asking the question. We totally answer that question. It's humorous enough, but thank you for that awesome question. Okay. Let's see who else is here. I'm gonna come back. Some interesting questions here. Okay, so Grandosa 12 says Spiral Zone. Great show. Wonderful show. Sledge. Okay, I'm gonna once he comes back, we're going to okay, wait. Sledge says Ramen Toys should do Hokuto no Ken and Soten no Ken. Those are some great toy lines. But as I said, I think Ace is concentrating on one toy line at a time. So maybe after he finishes with the 80s Commanders, we'll see.
All right, I'm back, I think.
Yes. So Ace is back. Let's bring him back. There he is.
Yeah, so as I was saying, for the 1/12 scale vehicles, in order to do it, we're just going to do just one color. So the amount of effort and, well, not effort, more the monetary side to do that one tooling does not justify at all. That is why the accountants, the people at the real toy companies do the math, do the accounts. It's not right. It's not making us any money. Let's not do it. But for fans, sometimes it's not about the profit. If we can just break even, don't lose money, we will do it, right? So the only chance of this happening is through the fans. It's not through the companies. The companies will never approve. You got to send things for approval, right? You got to have the board meetings. You got to have the projections for the year, the fiscal year, how much money you're going to make for the shareholders. So, such projects, I'm not going to cut it. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Kid Chuckle asks, that is a really quick prototype. Did you guys have a 3D printer, and what kind?
I don't know what 3D printer it is. There are various 3D printers in the market. It's fast because we already have the 3D design. It's just a matter of outputting it. And, once we output it, we have to put in all the joints, start to dissect it and refine it, because you can't do everything on a software. This is not software like Pro Engineer, like what they do for building aircraft and making mechanical parts where you can see things moving. We don't have that sophistication. If we did, good, but that all just means more money, right? So we don't have that. We just have a good old traditional, sculptor on ZBrush, sort of a platform, things like that, 3D Max. And once we have that, we have got to physically put in those, plugs and joints. So that's what we did. So having it as a 3D printed sample was not the difficult part. The difficult part was the creation of the sculpt, the outlook, and to use that 3D print and start putting in the joints. So that is the difficult part.
Martin asks, I wonder if Centurions rebuild would include characters and assault weapon systems that were not produced before, such as Rex Charger, John Thunder, Awesome Augur, and Fathom Fan. So basically, Martin's asking about the other characters who actually never got an action figure.
Yes, my friend Martin, we got this question as well from many of the fans. And all I can say is that we should just take it one step at a time and not get too ahead of ourselves. With the support, with the passion, things should work out. But either one doesn't happen, then it will fall apart.
Gotcha. N. Landeros, whose name is Noel, he asks, Mr. MJR, he's so polite, this Noel. Please ask Mr. Ace, what does he enjoy most about action figures, and what are his top 3 action figure lines? And Team Ultraman or Team Spectre-Man?
Well, I don't know what is Spectre-Man, so apologies, unless that's a different term for something that I know. And most, like Japanese animation, we do not know the English equivalent name. So anyway, so the top 3 figure lines that I like, I would have to say Masters of the Universe would be the first one. And action figure line, one line. And I have to say Centurions, of course. And if I have to give a third one, I would say Marvel Legends. Yeah, so they have it. That's the top 3 for me.
Those are some great choices. Yeah. CMS GT4, welcome. He says, do I detect a Singapore accent?
Do you?
Grand Desert 12 is still asking about Captain Power, which I think we answered that question. Of course, he's asking about Spiral Zone. Sledge says, Ramen Toys should do hooked. He asked this earlier, and I actually answered it for you.
I think it's North Star.
Yeah. I think Ace is definitely gonna concentrate on one and then see what happens afterwards. If Ace, can you confirm that?
Yes, I did. Yeah, confirm.
All right. Is Ace a fan of 70s mecha like Dia Alpion, Manjiger Z, and other robots of the time like Tetsujin Niju Hachi 28?
Nijuhachi, yeah? Okay, good Japanese. Yeah, so I would say, fortunately, I'm not a fan. Fortunately, because if I was a fan, there'll be no end. So these are stuff that I thankfully can avoid when I go to Mandarake in Japan to look for vintage stuff, because there's lots of vintage for all these things. So unfortunately, I'm not part of the bandwagon. But yeah, they're good stuff. I'm sure the fans who love them, they are great. But unfortunately, I don't have a connection. So there you have it.
Sorry, Ropey John. Looks like even though there's a great shows, we're not going to see too many of those in the ramen future at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so CMS GT4. What is the port size? 5mm transformable or compatible?
Transformer compatible.
I doubt it. The Transformers have certain plugs for blast effects.
I have to check on that. Maybe the next time when we wanted to do the next session, and I'll have the actual prototype in my hand, I could go over it. But I don't have the size off the top of my head at the moment. But yeah. Sorry about that.
I think this is just a joke, but mnemonic syntax says my boy Ace didn't get his other AWS. It's Amazon Web Service, so
Okay.
He's talking about your streaming. Actually, everything here, guys, just so you know, is being handled by StreamYard. So I guess it's based on your internet service provider, actually. Okay, so Grand Desert 12 is asking about Silverhawks or Brave Star, but I believe those properties are actually with somebody else, so we're not going to talk about that tonight. So Kevin says, and this is, again, I think we're going to keep getting this question over and over, but we might as well just answer it definitively right now. What's next for Ramen? What are the projections, and are they passionate about them?
We have actually dropped an Easter egg in our announcement on the early bird. I'm not sure if anybody picked it up. So
I guess we'll have to go and we'll have to go and see that. I'm gonna have to rewatch that announcement. I you know what?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I didn't see the actual announcement, so I'm actually gonna have to look at it.
Right.
All right. So I'm just gonna keep going. Okay. Mr. Backtastic says, will there be additional accessory packs for the 80s Commandos? I think he means Commanders, like the original features had.
Yes, this is already answered in the earlier question. Like I said, when we have the traction, we have the returns, then we can look into the next steps.
All right, here's a really funny one, but it's already been answered because we've seen it. Will Max have his 80s adult stash?
We've added a goatee.
And Ace confirms he's added a goatee. I couldn't say what it says, but it's fun. It says prawn, but anyway, I see what you did there. It's funny, and Road Big John agrees. Okay, mnemonic syntax says y'all know Max was based off of Tom Selleck. I believe that's actually true.
Magnum PI, right?
Magnum PI, correct.
Yeah.
All right. Kevin Master says, Ramen, will there be add-ons to show them morphing as in Power Extreme? So I guess he's asking, are they able to? Are their joints able to go like this? Like can they do the X stance? Can they do?
I think so. I definitely think so. Yeah, they can. Yes, they can.
That's amazing.
Yes, they can do X. Yes.
That is amazing. Because
you have shoulder ball joints and you have the bicep twist, so you can do it. You can do the X. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's incredible. Ace, are you ever going to make a figure in the 4-inch scale?
We've had that question as well, 3 3/4, 4-inch, but again, we can only do it one time. We can't do a 4-inch version, a 12-inch version. Someone was asking for a 12-inch version. I mean, 12-inch. Let Hot Toys do it. So
follow up. Mnemonic Syntax says, I can paint it if not. I just thought it was weird that Ace's throat was visible and he's flying at high speeds and can get knocked off of his joy and get his Adam's apple knocked off.
Yeah, sure.
That's funny. Are you okay? So Kevin wants to know if you're a fan of Astro Boy, his other obsession.
Nah. Astro Boy is too simple. It's a simple sculpt, right? How complicated can Astro Boy be?
Actually, Ace, right? I just saw an action figure on Big Bad Toy Store, and they took him apart.
Okay, with the internals.
Yes,
okay.
It's incredible.
All right, then that's great.
Look it up when you have a chance. Look up on Big Bad Toy Store. Look up Astro Boy. Kevin didn't even know it. Actually, don't look up Astro Boy. Look up Tetsuwan Adam. Okay, because Kevin Masters was blown away by what he saw.
Cool.
All right. Once again, I think we already answered this. Mnemonic syntax. Astro Riders when? Not anytime soon. Dino Boy. Oh, there you go. There's a blast from the past. Dino Boy when? Again, not anytime soon. Kid Chuckle. That joke machine is sweet, but I think really pricey in the aftermarket. Wish I had one. Okay, sorry, that's not a question. Okay, so Road Pig John. I mean, in the future, is Ace looking at possibly making additional? You already answered this one. We keep getting the same questions. Grandis 12 says, I had some Zoids. They were fun toys and with interchangeable parts. Okay, Diecast Fly. I think what you're doing is commended. I think I wasn't much of a fan of Centurions, but it's dope that you are filling voids in people's collections.
Thank you.
That's something that's interesting, though. If nobody else is doing it, you are literally fulfilling dreams of certain people, right, Ace?
Well, I hope so. And then I see that the results is true because, again, when nobody else is doing it, it could be for a reason that nobody wants it. So it's which is which, right? You gotta make that bet ultimately, and then you will see for yourself if it's the right move, because we really don't know, right? If there's something that's not done before in our market, right? For the consumers market, my models, for example, they have been doing die-cast aircraft for ages, and nobody has done engine that's removed, nose that's removed. So maybe we don't need that. So I went ahead to do it, and in the end of the day, it shows that people do want this kind of stuff. So yeah, you take a leap of faith and you do it, and the results will show.
So Kevin says that he has to head off. Kevin, I hope you weren't scared off by what I said.
Okay.
You're always welcome, Kevin. But have a good night. CMS GT4 says, "Could you imagine an Exo Squad reboot coming out of something like this?"
I don't know. I have no comments.
Ace is keeping very tight-lipped tonight. Kevin says, "Take care." Grandiose 12 says, "Take care." Kid Chuckle is very excited about you saying Starcom, and I have to admit, I'm pretty excited about Starcom myself. I was a huge fan of magnets on anything in toys. So when you talked about the heads with magnets, I was kind of like, wow, that's cool. But Starcom, wow, that's a great property. And is it difficult to make miniature? Like that's not even 3-inch. That's like half an inch. Those are half-inch figures, right? Ace.
Well, if any attempts is going to be made at doing these, it has, in my opinion, not going to be exactly the same scale as before, because if we do that, then first of all, there are obviously, well, there could be licensing ramifications. So we want to make sure that we do something that it is not an exact replica. So in my opinion, I would do Starcom in a bit of a bigger scale, because they're always kind of small and you can't really see the details of the figures. But of course, they can't really be 6-inch. Otherwise, like I said, the vehicles would be huge. So a lot of thought still has to be put into it, because again, the whole essence of Starcom was the play feature. And in order to have all these play features, the Starbucks Bomber, you need it at that size. So anything that is deviates from that size would then again give a different taste, a different feel. So it's unknown at the moment how collectors and fans of the genre would react to it. Some might be like, oh, please don't destroy my childhood, right? So again, it has to be massaged very carefully, and it has to come from a fan that really knows it and like it. And from then we can, deliberate and ultimately come up with the perfect size. So I'm not saying anything is set in stone. It could still be the small figures, but done in a more realistic manner. We saw how the Mega Constructs did the Master of the Universe in small size. In my opinion, it could actually be even better done, because those were actually made more for a blocky range of toys. So yeah, it all centers around really thinking about it, brainstorming, trying to be creative as possible, but making it at the same time logical for the fans.
I think you hit a chord with a few people. Check this out. Mnemonic syntax: Visionaries, the Knights of the Magical Light. Road Pig John, did he say Visionaries? Mr. Backtastic, Starcom would be amazing. Mnemonic syntax: he sure did. Road Pig John, it would be great to get a new Visionaries figure. Grandizer 12, yeah, Visionaries. It was a short-lived cartoon. Should have been more popular. Maybe the story was too advanced for the time. And Mnemonic syntax now continues. About 10 years ago, I had a Drake Rockwell figure, and the spring on the bazooka was so strong, it knocked a hole in the wall of my apartment. Wow. I lived at the time. The other problem with a lot of toys back in the 80s is that, much like what happened to Boba Fett, the launching feature on many action figures was a hazard, and actually got a lot of companies in trouble. So that situation is good for upcoming companies. So I think that everyone will agree it's probably something that Ace wants to avoid right now.
Yeah.
All right. Kid Chuckle says the mechanics would be hard, but they had recently Beast Saga had Starcom mechanics not long ago, also known as Battle Beasts.
Yeah, Battle Beasts.
I'm not 100% sure what do you know what he's talking about, Ace?
I'm not sure about Battle Beasts per se, so yeah, I don't know either.
Hi, Nightwolf76, good to see you. Sledge, Ace, speaking about difficult, give us Mask with vehicles if possible, in which I would shell out $250 for a tracker and his vehicle. Did you enjoy Mask when you were a kid, Ace?
My favorite toy line. I got actually more Mask than Transformers.
Holy crap.
So I love Mask. My first Mask was Condor, because it was the cheapest.
Yep.
Oh no, wait. My first Mask was Piranha.
Oh.
Yeah, Piranha. Because I didn't want Condor. It was too cheesy. So I got Piranha instead. Yeah, I remember that. So I got Piranha instead, and the connector piece broke on mine.
Oh no.
So I couldn't so I used the glue.
Yeah,
I used glue. But back in the day when I was using glue, it was those kind of sticky glue. It wasn't it wasn't super glue, right? So it was
the white glue.
Yeah. So it always fell apart. So I was like, oh man. So and Sly Rex couldn't fit into the compartment like he would. He was lying down sleeping. So I was like, oh, this is wrong, man. But yeah, I had Piranha, my first one, and then I got Condor next, and then I got Condor again as a Christmas present. And I finally begged the mom and got myself Thunder Hawk and Switchblade.
Oh,
and
wow.
And that was the end of my Mask story, because I had no chance to buy the rest, the Gator, the Jackhammers, and all these things. No chance, and no Boulder Hill for me. No Boulder Hill. Yeah. So yeah. And the only other chance I got to get a Hurricane was when they had a sale. Right, it was on a newspaper. They printed the products that were on sale. There was Hurricane, there was Firefly, and I rushed down to get Hurricane. Sold out. I had to settle for Firefly. So again, not so good. You moving forward, the wings come out. So yeah, I love Mask, and to make Mask again is difficult and expensive because of the vehicle feature, like I said. And every vehicle, you can only do it once. You can't like repaint it and do something else. So that is the challenge, the ultimate challenge. And it could only happen, I guess, if we did a Kickstarter, right, where we are confident that we can't do it alone. So for 80s Commanders, we were confident we can do it alone. That's why we didn't go the Kickstarter route. Plus, Kickstarter takes a chunk of the funds. So we thought about it carefully and say, hey, we can do this without Kickstarter. But I told my partner that for the subsequent stuff we have to go Kickstarter, because those kind of stuff is basically you will know then if it's worth it, because the rest of those projects are going to be massively expensive for tooling. You're talking about the rest of the Commanders weapon system. Again, only one rendition. You can't repaint it. A lot of tooling involved. They are going to be bigger than the figures themselves. So same, yeah. So figures, vehicles for mass, and all these things are really a massive ask for tooling. And if we ever get a chance or the privilege to be doing those things, we would love it, and it would have to be on Kickstarter. Yeah.
So that, I think, answers a few questions that a lot of people have been asking. Essentially, what you're trying to do and what you're trying to say is that this is a fundraising effort for this particular project for 80s Commander. And the thing is that if the fans don't fund it, then it's not going to be done.
No, not exactly. We are prepared to do it with a certain risk. But like I said in my stream before, the reason why we are requesting for the early bird payments in advance is because we try to strike a win-win situation. If the fans can afford it at the best price, right? It's not even the retail price. It's the early bird price, right? The retail price was $90. The early bird price is $65. Shipping is extra, of course. So if the fans can contribute, like they would in Kickstarter, right? They would have to contribute as well, right? So we get the advance. We are able to breathe easy and perhaps allocate our own. These are all our own funds, by the way, right? Even if we do it without fans. And if we can't achieve these initial orders, we actually would have to reconsider if we wanted to go ahead with the project or not. Because again, the initial thoughts that we had in place was, let's do the prototype. Up to the prototype, we've invested all to the prototype. If we get zero response, then let's not waste money to do the tooling. That was always the plan, right? But I was always trying to push. I'm a bit of a gambler, meaning that I would still I would tool it myself. I don't care. I'll tool it myself and see. But that's not the prudent way of doing things. So I think this stage that we're at, we have already shown the prototypes. We have shown what we're doing all this while, and we are already this close. We have a schedule, and the schedule will be kept because we have been keeping tracks of the schedule. You can see how we've gone from a Facebook page to concept art to prototypes, and next would be the tooling, and then finally the production. And we want to deliver it in October. All right. Yes, delays may happen, but it wouldn't be more than a couple of weeks because we have already done all the things in place. We are not going to do any more changes, right? Things delays because there are changes. Things delays because there are hiccups and changes. We have already done the prototype. It's all set. It's all good to go. We know the packaging we're going to do. Everything is all laid out, all planned out. So we have a schedule. It's just like going for a trip, right? You plan everything in advance. You go for your trip. Things that would be delayed would be out of your control. If the flight gets delayed, you get bumped off the flight. That's out of your control, right? But if everything goes well, most of the time, things that you plan gets achieved. And they always say, those who plan to fail fails to plan. And we have planned, so we're not planning to fail. So there we go.
Absolutely. That I think that does help to answer a lot of people's questions as well. So one question I think if I may ask it, is there's been a couple of questions is like, because of the way you're handling the pre-orders, what happens if people sort of change their minds in the middle of the process? Are they like, will you do a refund after the fact, or like how is that going to be handled if I can ask that?
Yeah, I think it's reasonable. If they don't want it, they can get their refund back. It's a reasonable request. Yeah.
Okay. So so right there, there's a commitment from Ace. saying that
it's obvious, right? If you don't want it, you get your money back, right? That's normal. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a commitment right there, and I think that that you're being very upfront with everybody. Everybody knows. Everybody doesn't know anything, but at the end of the day, if they want their money back, you're assuring everybody that they can get it back. All right. So mnemonic syntax says aerators would be sweet. Everybody just reliving their memories, Ace. But let's get hacker, Doc Terror, and some Doom drones before anything else. I think he's right. I would love to see Doc Terror. I would love to see hacker, and I would definitely love to see some Doom drones. Those would be great. Can we maybe think about having any of those?
Yeah. It would not be complete without the villain. So I think that's the next step. Yeah. That's the next step.
I don't know if you can tell, but I'm happy. I'm very, very happy about that. That sounds so great. Oh, that's great. I'm so happy. I wanted to get that out of you. Thank you, Mnemonic Syntax, for not putting me in that position. Let's see if there are any other questions. Here we go. Ace, were you a fan of Spiral Zone?
No, sorry, I was not a fan.
All right, so
I don't hate it though. I don't hate it as well. So.
I think it might be. Mnemonic Syntax says good thing Centurions wear their vehicles, so you don't have to produce them.
Yeah.
On that, I don't want to get too far into that, but is that going to be very difficult? Because that's actually a good point. Like these additional power, weapon systems, right? They are much bigger, and they have to connect. That's definitely something you're looking into and going to expand. And are you going to go with the middle or the really big one? Because there was the small ones which came with the figures, and there was the slightly like there was Wild Weasel, which was a little bit bigger, and then there was the ultimate ones like Depth Charger and Skybolt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you actually looked into or thought about which is the first one you're going to do? You don't have to answer it, definitively, yes. But I'm just curious. What have you been thinking about?
We want to maybe touch on those that are the super rare stuff that fans have trouble getting. So that could be a start. Yeah.
Okay. So Mark 44 Prime. I know it's jumping the gun, but are you planning to do the unreleased guys on Centurions, also more weapon systems? So basically the same question we had earlier with John Thunder and the other Centurions. Right. Noel again. Mr. Ace, I just want to wish you the best of luck in this line. I love the passion with which you are speaking on behalf of your creative work, and I would love a 1/6 scale Voltron in your style.
Wow. Voltron. Isn't Voltron like overly done? It's been done so many times.
Right? And that's the reason why people love it. It keeps getting done over and over and over again, and people still buy it. So you never know, Noel. I think he's saying that he wants to see the style, what your designer would come up with. I think maybe.
Okay.
Mnemonic Syntax 44 Prime. He said earlier that it takes a lot of time and money for that kind of test. So yeah, everyone's paying attention, which is good. Jason Lowry, good to see you. Hopefully you're still in the stream. The chat's been all over the place. I'm sorry. Mr. Backtastic, how many points of articulation will the 80s commanders have?
I'm sorry, what?
How many
25.
Points
25.
Sorry.
25.
25 points of articulation.
Yes. Oh, which brings me to the question, actually, Jay. So I am seeing action figures being advertised as having 32 points of articulation. I can't, for the hell of me, figure out how that's possible. Maybe they count like the toe thing, right?
Maybe the toe.
Okay. But 32, wow. Because I've let's count it together, right? Let's count it together. We have let's go on one side first, and then we just double it, and then we talk about the center. So we have the
shoulder.
The shoulder.
Yep, shoulder.
Right, shoulder.
That's one.
Shoulder has that's one. Okay, shoulder, and we have the bicep, right?
Okay.
Bicep here. So that's two.
Sure.
We have the double jointed elbow. Is that one or two? Is a double jointed elbow one or two?
It would technically be two for the
two,
double,
right?
Yeah, that's 2.
So we already have 4.
Yeah.
Right. And then we have the Risk.
That's 5. Yeah.
That's 5.
Yeah.
And then the same thing goes for the. Well, let's get a figure here to articulate. So and then we have the
hip joint,
ball joint ball joint here
on the hip,
and we have this articulation here.
Yep.
Right. So that's 2. Right. And we have 2 more for the double jointed knee.
Sure.
And then we finally have the articulated ankle.
Yeah, the ankle joint.
So that's 1.
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Right. So 10 times 2
20
is 20.
And then you have
and then
neck.
we have the neck.
Yeah.
We have neck. So that's 21.
Yep.
And we have the hip.
The hip
No,
joint.
it only has the 80s Commanders only have 1 joint here. There's no ab crunch.
Oh, there's
because
no ab
of the
crunch. Okay.
pecs. That's the pecs, right? So, and then over here, so that's 2 more. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like, but I counted 25 at first. So maybe I counted. Okay, so yeah, so we got 22. Is that right? 22.
Oh, man, my math is terrible. That would be 20. No, we 23. No, because
23?
22. That's 22. No, you're
yeah.
right.
Okay. So yeah, 22 points.
22. Yeah, I think the way they get with another way to get it is the butterfly joint. If the character has it, if you want two more joints, right?
Yeah.
So that's a possibility there too. Martin says, what articulation points are gained / lost when the size of the action figure increases or decreases? I think you just covered that.
Okay.
I think you just covered that. Jason Lowry, good to see you. During the design of the Commanders, what is your most liked and least liked aspect of the process?
I loved designing the mechanical features because I am a skill modeler, so that's why I incorporated the turbine fans in Naval Commanders accessory, and I incorporated the turbo fans in Air Force Commanders accessory, and then we incorporated the swivel pivot wings, and we incorporated all the signal set dials and details on Armor Commanders backpack. So yeah, the details of all these real life mechanical things was what I enjoyed most, and what I least enjoyed was the fact that I got to break down the sculpt to have all these joints possible. So we have to cut away here and then shift it down. We have to do this and do that. So it sort of made a very nice sculpt, a little bit less nice. You know what I'm talking about? Because every figure, right, even the Iron Man that you see here, right, it's not going to be as nice as what you see in the movie, because once you break down the joint, there's going to be a big gap here. Do you feel me? So you know what I'm saying, Jay?
Yeah, I know. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Okay, and so then Retro Crunch. Good to see you, Retro Crunch, fellow YouTuber. First off, what's up, Jay? Well, good to see you. Thanks, Retro Crunch. Cool to catch your live stream. Next, for Ace, are the Commanders going to be only paint detail, or will they also have stickers?
No stickers. We don't deal with stickers. Just paint.
And on that, I think you answered this question in one of your streams. But is it going to be majority? Is the plastic going to be colored, or is it going to be
majority would be injected in color, as would most action figures are, and paint will only come in to color the stuff that cannot be injected, because otherwise, if we want to have the black injected separate with the other colors, then all these are all separate parts. Then you have a really complex figure. You basically have a suit of black and then donning an armor. So that's a totally different ball game.
Got it. Well, thank you, Retro Crunch. Mnemonic Syntax says, assault weapon systems. I was talking about Ace McCloud not getting air assault and is missing AW. Oh, okay. That's what it was. So okay.
Oh, assault weapon
Thanks,
system.
my mic. Sorry, it's hard. The acronyms are hard. The acronyms are hard. I love Emily. Any plans for some figures on Gotcha Man?
Wow, Gotcha Man. Wow.
Next year will be the 50th anniversary.
Wow. So sorry, man. Now that people starts bringing up the real things, this mine is only this small, right? So yeah, Gotcha Man is one of my favorite all time. I love the original. Well, I don't really love the original, but I love the second one, the God Phoenix, and then the Gotcha Spartan. But the first one was probably when I was not too attached, because it was probably aired or produced before my time. And yeah, so I love Gotcha Man, the figures. I used to actually want to buy those figures as a kid. I really love the action figures that I saw the other boy have. Power Rangers, where there's just that little gun that can slot into the holster was a wow for me, right? But I never got those figures. Never got it. I have no idea where they bought it from. I guess they traveled to Japan when they were kids with their family, and they bought it from Japan, because from Singapore we actually never saw all these figures. So yeah, that was something that from my childhood that I always, where did you get that figure? I want it, but I can't have it. So Gotcha Man is something that has been done a few times, but I don't think it's still quite there yet. So yeah, I could. Again, I don't want to get in trouble with licenses, right? If those of you who,
they're tempting you with what you
love.
I
mean, I want to make this clear, right? It's actually kind of silly for me to be talking on air about licenses that I don't have. But I am. I mean, like I said, if we can be granted a license at a reasonable price, of course we want to do it the proper way. I can relate to you a very simple. This is a share and tell, right? So I can relate to you a very simple and many other examples. So we were very keen to do the 1989 Batman, Keaton Batman, in a caricaturized form. So what I'll do is I would have the Batwing with Batman inside in a caricature form, because I think back a few years ago, caricature super deform was still a very in thing. I'm not too sure about now, right? So times change, we changed our tactics. So back then, I was actually having the idea of the caricature. So instead of the Joker pulling out his gun to shoot at the Batwing in that scene, he was actually going to be like the guy in the airport, taxiing the Batwing in for a landing, right? So that's the joke part of it that I was trying to incorporate, as well as a Batmobile, 89 Batmobile with Batman looking like, very stone face aside his Batmobile with the cop giving a ticket for parking it near a fire hydrant. So this was the concept that I have. And, we approached Warner Brothers for the license, and they wanted $60,000 US just for the down payment for, guess what? Asia. Which means I cannot, if I paid $60,000 US, not even talking about tooling and development and production, 60,000 US has to come down now to get the license, and we are only allowed to sell in Asia, which means I cannot sell in Australia, I cannot sell in UK, I cannot sell in US. So where the hell am I going to get the quantities needed to make this project success? So this is the beef that I have with licensors, right? They ask for this insane amount of MG, but of course, there are companies paying these insane MGs because apparently they are established around the world. Okay, you can easily know who I'm talking about. So you have companies that's established, and they have all these, I guess, investments and stuff. Who knows, right? You have new companies coming up like Queen Studios. I was amazed when I was in Wonder Festival in Shanghai last year. I saw these new Queen Studios. They were doing so many massive statues, and they've only been around for 2 years. Do the math. How can anybody like me, a fan who doesn't have millions in his bank, in 2 years' time get the license for Transformers, Marvel, Batman, what have you, right? And then produce all these massive statues? How is it possible if you don't have like some? This is just my opinion, like oil money funding. Again, I'm not. If this is not the case, I'm not saying bad about Queen Studios. I really kudos to these guys who can pull it off. But I'm just trying to describe the situation, the difficulties that a creator is put in. We sincerely want to do it, but hey, in the real world, if you don't have the money, go somewhere else.
I think you're very passionate about what you're doing, Ace, and I think that I think a lot of people will notice, will recognize that, and the fact that you're, you want to do this project, and a lot of people are very excited about the project, especially me. So yeah, definitely the hardships that come along with this kind of thing, they're daunting, and you're a very courageous person for doing these things. Road Pig John, what is Ace's expectations in terms of statistics of backers on his 80s Commanders to move forward? So basically, are you able to move forward now, Ace, or?
Oh yeah, we can. With the response that we get from the early bird announcement, if of course nobody starts to refund all their orders, then we're good to go, right? If along the way suddenly, who knows, right? Touch wood, everybody says I'm backing out, then I'll be left holding the bag. So let's put it this way, yeah.
Well, definitely, I'm all in. I want these. I want these figures. Again, Ace, we just met a few weeks ago, and after I found out it was you, I was like, how can I get these figures, Ace? I want these figures.
More than a few weeks, Jake. I think we've been friends for about a couple of months. I think.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely been chatting on my stream for a while. I thank you very much for teaching me how to do this. This SLR. I mean, it's crazy. Don't mention it. Jimmy Z9K. Hi, I just joined the story. Sorry if this was asked already. Is there any chance of doing Speed Racer with different cars?
Speed Racer. Apparently, I am actually Speed Racer. That's V Racer. Is it the same? V Racer, Speed Racer?
No. Speed. Wait.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I think they're they're definitely the same.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
All right. Okay.
Speed Racer was it's an anime property. I can't remember.
I actually have a friend who runs another brand that does electric cars on the track, and they got the license and they did a Speed Racer. And I'm actually filming that next week. So I'm filming the video for this thing.
Awesome. But so are you planning on doing anything with Speed Racer?
No. Sorry.
Sorry, Jimmy.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't do everything. I'm just.
Sorry, Jimmy. Hopefully next time. Diecast Fly. I hope the final product comes the way you intend, because I know it's not easy, and I can see that you're doing and I can see you doing visionaries based on how the 3D renders look. So there's some words of encouragement for you, Ace. Yeah. Sledge. Ace, I had Piranha as well. Can't beat that stash. Retro Crunch. What? Ace, common? Condor was badass. I wanted a green motorcycle when I grew up because of that mask vehicle.
Okay.
A lot of mask fans in here. You got to watch what you say, Ace.
Yeah.
Old IT guy. Welcome. Thank you for joining the stream. Yes, mask. Untouched market. Money to be made for sure. So on Mask, apparently there was a whole treasure trove of unopened Mask vehicles found in Brazil, and I think it was Brazil, and the market got flooded all of a sudden. I think it actually brought the value of a lot of collector markets down.
Yeah.
Mnemonic Syntax Mask. Do they know that that command doesn't start with a K?
In Malaysia, it does.
Well, there you go.
In Malaysia. Yeah, in Malaysia, your C pronounces you write with a K.
There you go. Fizzle G, Retro Crunch. That was my first mask vehicle. Very awesome. Jermaine Hunter, Bionic 6 or Wheels or Wheeled Warriors.
No,
you don't know. You don't know either of those properties.
No, not sure.
All right. Bionic 6 was a family of cybernetically enhanced people.
Okay.
And Wheeled Warriors was I think it was a really mid to late 80s anime cartoon. It starred Jace and the Wheeled Warriors.
You see, some of these things didn't make its way to Singapore. So if it didn't make its way to Singapore, I was not able to be accustomed to it. So
Well, I think Jason the Wheeled Warriors actually only lasted a season and a half. I think it was actually very, very short lived.
Okay.
Emily loves Mask. So Noel once again says, Mr. J and Noel, what are his top 3 figures of the year so far? And from one Noel to another Noel, you are a gentleman and you're awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. The top 3 figures. Okay. Answer the question?
Yeah.
I got to be honest, I haven't been collecting too many figures this year, so I can't put a very accurate thought on that. But from what I've been following, at least to my bit of a busy schedule, is that I think the Bota Can is it released yet? The
Bo-Katan,
Mandalorian, right? I think that is
already been released in the US, but here in Canada,
okay.
We haven't gotten her yet.
I think that's a good one because it's first of all a rare to have a female in an armor, right?
Actually, it's not that rare, but I think what you mean in Star Wars is rare. So
yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I think for let's see. I want to come back to that because I'm still not having it in my mind.
We got to keep moving anyway. Road Big John, I will buy the bad guys from the 80s Commanders 100%. So he's looking forward to that. Sleeping Collectibles. Sorry for the stream earlier. I want to send my chat over to you and like your video and give you guys more eyeballs. Sleeping, you're awesome. Yeah. You're never disturbing us. We love we love the attention that you threw over our way. Thank you so much. I hope you and Space Buns are doing well. If you have any questions for Ace or myself, please leave them in the chat. And you're gonna have to teach me how to do mod things because I can't figure out how to do the mod thing. Grenda's at 12. Jermaine Hunter, that would be cool to see Jason the Will Warriors. It would be cool. Mark 44 Prime. Sorry for the crazy questions, but do you have one more? Starcom is a potential project that will be which will have vehicles, and if so, what size will the figures be? I think you answered this question actually. But how about the vehicles? Would they match the size of the figures? I think that's the question.
Which one?
For Starcom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they should match. Yes.
Yeah, that's the plan. Okay, so Kid Chuckle on Wheeled Warriors was a great toy line. I believe it was. But my only problem with Wheeled Warriors is the figures were very generic. They were actually just like they were like what's it called? They were like Takara's Microman.
Microman, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't really have any features. They all looked very much the same. Different colors. I think that was the only difference. Kid Chuckle still has 3 of them. Jason Lowry, Ace. Thank you for asking my question. I can't wait to get this in hand. So we already got one person who's on the pre-order there. Shane McNeil. Shane, good to see you. Thanks for joining the stream. Sledge, Ace Sky Commanders. Ace Sky Commanders to help the 80s Commanders. Well, you're everyone's pushing you to make different toy lines. This is crazy. Mr. Ace, in your honest opinion, regarding soft good materials for action figures, do you have a like or dislike in your opinion?
Soft good materials or plush, right?
Clothing. Like for
clothing.
Yeah, like the what's it called? Hot Toys, like Hot Toys.
Yeah, I think it's pushing the boundary. Making all these miniature clothing with real material is not easy. So you got to give kudos to the factory workers. Actually, so all these are done by factory workers. I think we have to appreciate, if I sidetrack a little bit, that all the figures that you have enjoying behind your shelves is all done by people in China factories, painting them by hand, assembling them by hand. It is not done by some robots, it's everything is done by hand. The only thing that is done by the robot is the injection of the plastic, right? So once the plastic is injected out, a person actually carries them and starts to remove them from the sprue. That's the first step. And then they have to sort of deburr any parts that might be like hard plastic. And once you go off the sprue, it comes up with a sharp point. And then once that is done, it goes to be sprayed. Either it's sprayed by like big colors, right? They go for like a machine spraying, or once you get the part to mask off and spray the other color, you get a guy with a dye that actually covers the part and starts spraying it himself, one by one, by one, by one. And then when that's done, another person checks it and see if there's any overspray, and that person uses a little bit of a cleaner, a thinner, and starts to remove that overspray. And likewise, if that part was undersprayed, somebody got to get a paintbrush and start to patch it up. So that's why you see figures getting a patched up here or a patched up there, because the paint didn't go through. Plus, now if we have pet printing involved, you get like the emblem of the bat symbol on the figure. That's not paint, that is print. So that figure goes onto a jig, and a pet printing machine comes along and prints the yellow, and then it prints the black with the bat symbol, and that's it. That's a two-process printing, right? So all these are all made by hand. We got to really appreciate. Sometimes I'm not sure if I really appreciate all these workers at the factory doing my stuff and doing all this stuff, because it's hard work, man. It's hard work.
Absolutely. That's again, a lot of people don't think about this. It's really good to have these insights from someone who's been in the industry and actually have a lot of experience doing these types of things. So yeah, the workers themselves obviously need to be respected and really given a lot of credit for all the crap that they have to do.
Yeah.
I have to say, I was watching in one of my earlier streams where you actually tried to go through the factory. I was amazed that all the people who were staying there and having only one job, right? Just basically spending all day, just as you said, deburring a lot of the flash that comes off of the mold, right? Exactly. And a lot of the actual I didn't see any hand painting, but I thought I saw some stamping, right? I think you were showcasing the stamping as well.
Yes.
So major respect for all those people who work day and night in those factories, and of course to you, Ace, for doing these wonderful projects. Okay, so we have Jason Lowry says, Jay, thank you for doing this live stream. Very, very, very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Mr. Ace.
We did that already.
Oh, we did this one. Okay. We went too far back. Here's one. Oh, man, I would love an SD Chibi Batman Keaton. That was in regards to your first comment. So, actually, super deformed, miniature, big heads, they're still very, very popular, I think, Noel. So, so if you're interested in something like that, I think it would be actually a really good thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Noel is always such a gracious person, Noel. How does it feel to be the best live streaming action figure? And Ace, how does it feel to be launching the hottest new line coming soon? So,
well, there's a bag of mixed feelings, because you have people who are supportive and are looking forward, and then you have those who are skeptical and try to, throw some bolts and nuts into the machine wheel. So, yeah, it's a mixed feeling, and then they start to say that again, like I said, I was trying to actually talk on that point before, that I should not be. I am so, but I should not be regarded as a pirate or a bootlegger or somebody that has no regards for license. I think I mentioned this in my other streams, right? But the fact of the matter is, I am. I don't have the licenses for these things, right? So the common, the sane way of doing it is don't do it, right? If you don't have a license, don't do it, right? But I'm encouraged by what I see. I see the people who are doing third-party transformers, they are doing it, right? So if they can do it, why can't we? It's just like in Die Hard 2, where the planes finally, landed on that fire trail. Hey guys, if they can do it, we can do it too, right? So I don't know. I'm between a rock and a hard place, right? So yes, potentially there could be ramifications, right? And I'm prepared for that, right? Because I have my case. If they want to fight it out in a case, we have our case, right? If they want to do a cease and desist, we can have our ways of doing it. There's always going to be an action and a reaction, right? Our action is we brought forward this, and the reaction is the fans like it, right? There could be another reaction. Somebody else might want to totally destroy this because they might feel jealous, they might feel intimidated, they want to be me. I don't know, right? There can be various reasons why somebody would want to destroy a project, right? So it depends. I think in this age whereby we have all these very clear communications on live stream, everything is out there. They're starting to hide, right? You know who you are. Anybody can come and contact me by email and say, hey, you need to get this done the proper way. Could you please do this? And we'll negotiate, right? We'll negotiate a deal, right? If the deal is reasonable, we'll negotiate it, and we get it's a win-win. If we get a reasonable deal, we get to stamp the actual property name there, and then we boost ourselves, and we might sell more than we anticipated, right? So it's a win-win. But it shouldn't be a case of somebody coming and say, hey, you don't do this, finish, you're done, and then that's the end. So you guys decide, right? You guys decide what to do.
Well, at the end of the day, it's you've had the experience dealing with licenses in the past, right? So no one's doing anything with this property, right? And there are obviously people out there who want this. I want this. I really want this action figure set, and this is definitely one of those cases where it's a proof of concept, right? I mean, like, obviously you put it out there, people are responding to your to what it is that you're offering, right? And this is what the end result is. And if that leads, according to what you're saying now, if that leads to a conversation with somebody else who can make a deal happen, then maybe that's what needs to happen. Because right now nobody's talking about the property except for the fans, right? So again, let's not touch too much on that.
Okay, all right, okay.
No, only because not that I could talk about it all day. I really could. I could really, like, license. I've been involved in licenses myself, and I've worked for companies who have done the NHLPA, the NBA, the NBA players, the NBA Players Association. I've done the NHL. I've done some work with Marvel, with DC. I know what it's like to deal with the licenses. I know what the restrictions that are involved with doing. Certain characters can't be shown with other characters. You know what I mean? Certain it's certainly, like, when you do a advertising for certain things, you can't have more than 3 heroes in a shot. Everybody else has to be tiny, really, really small, right? And the difficulty with those things that come in actually selling the product as well, like they're literally like handcuffing you in what you're able to do versus what you want to do, right? As a matter of fact, Mayfex is having a problem with that now, right? Mm-hmm. The fact that they can't show weapons in all of their advertising, right? Mm-hmm. They literally had one sell sheet. And all of a sudden, in the first sell sheet that was advertised, there was a cigar, what's it called? Constantine's face on he was smoking a cigar. Then in the very next print, all the materials for tobacco and whatever, they're all gone, right? But they're still included with the figures, right? Why is that? That's because people, the fans want this stuff, but there are restrictions against them. And it's funny because in the US, there's no restriction like that. It only happened in Asia. Very strange. Anyway, we could talk about that forever, but then we never get through the stream. So here's something. Jimmy Z9K, I love the passion in your voice when you talk about making these toys. I feel like you are a fan as much as I am, and that builds confidence. Thank you. Well, that's a big compliment. And of course, you are passionate about this stuff, right, Noah?
Yeah, I think so.
Glenn Cruz, this is Ultra. We love hearing about creators, their ideas, their insights, and their connections to toys. Mad respect, Ace, and mad respect, Jay, for having this kind of content as a content creator. Thank you, Glenn. You've always been a great supporter of the channel, and I think I speak for both of us in that I think we're all passionate about this hobby that we're involved in. And I'm looking forward to these toys as much as everybody else. And I think that Ace is going to bring it to us. I'm really hoping this is going to be a big thing. I'm really looking forward to it. Okay. Zaluto Hunter says, what's up? Okay, so Noel says, Mr. Ace, since you acknowledged that you're a fan of Motu, I bet if your team did a version of Snake Mountain, it would blow away the Classics one. So the classic Snake Mountain that I have, can you top that, Ace? Can you top it?
There's a Chinese saying, 一山比一山高, which means there's always a higher mountain. So we'll see.
Oh, now we're throwing around proverbs. This is great. You should write fortune cookies, Ace. Mnemonic syntax. The problem is that there's a lot of companies that own the rights to these figures. Centurions isn't owned by Hasbro, and there's little chance of the estate owner coming after. Well, okay. Again, we're not going to talk too much more about licenses. I think we should just. We've already talked enough about it, but thank you for that insight, mnemonic syntax. I think I'm not going to agree or disagree. I don't think it's actually the right forum for that at this time.
Right.
But I do acknowledge your insight, and I think that we all have a lot to think about. Sledge, Ace, you were a fan of Judge Dredd. The Mizco line was amazing.
Yeah, I love the Dredd movie. Very good.
Wheel Warriors was poorly marketed. A disconnect from the show with some of the human figures. I think they were going to fix that in the second wave, but it never made it. That was Kid Chuckle. Jason Lowry. I love the show so far. Great content. I'd love to get either of you on a podcast. I co-host with some friends called The Nerds Have Spoken. All right, Jason. Nice. Why don't you send me or Ace, because Ace has his own YouTube channel. Why don't you send either of us a PM, and maybe we can talk about that. That would be great. Retro Crunch. Do the mod thing. You just okay. Thanks, Retro Crunch. I'll get back to that because I am looking. Will, Ace and Jay, if you can do RoboCop, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, will you tackle any of these properties? It would be a nice purple and black, blue, red RoboCops. TMNT can have the same body. Oh my God, Will, you were talking about some of the most expensive licenses in the history of the planet right now. I don't think I think
the Rock say know your role. So I have to know my role, right? TMNT is being covered right now extensively, so let's not
multiple companies. It's being done by like more than 10. I think they're like between apparel and between action figures. I think like, oh my God, this is crazy. I think like Playmates, Super 7, NECA. I think like it's all across the board. It's a kind of oversaturated when you think about it. But people love turtles. Mnemonic syntax. Again, those are active license. Okay. Again, mnemonic syntax. Thank you for your insight. We're gonna move on. Zalu Toy Hunter. Ace, what do you think about people making geez, guys. All right, fake figures and selling them for? So I think he's talking about real knockoffs.
Real knockoffs.
Real, true masterpiece knockoffs and things like that.
Yeah.
Zalu, I think honestly, let's just keep the discussion on what we're talking about. As a moderator, I am going to have to do that. I'm sorry. It's just I don't want this to turn into a whole KO thing versus licensing. I really have to keep this kind of going because we're going to be here forever. But I do acknowledge that's something that we should talk about in a later podcast, maybe. Mnemonic syntax. Oh my gosh. Okay. One more time. We're gonna keep moving. Thank you again for the insight. Okay, that was the same question. Sorry, Zalu. Guys, thanks for the stream. I'm gonna pick this up in the morning and have a good night. Thank you for coming, Kid Chuckle. It was amazing to have you. Great insight, Ace. Very interesting to hear about more of your toys. Excellent. Okay. A Girl Fantasy. Hello from Paris, everyone. Paris, thank you for coming, A Girl Fantasy. That's. Do you have any questions for us? Actually, we are going to start wrapping this up, guys. It's already been 2 hours. It's 12:09 here, and I know that Ace actually has somewhere to go today, so I don't want to keep him too long. Diecast Fly, I think you're taking the right steps to gain customer trust. The more people get to see the process, the better. Or not to be updated on it makes it, or to be updated on it makes it easier. So yeah, Ace, I think this has been a great opportunity, and I was very excited about this project myself.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay, for the opportunity.
You know what? I just had to talk about it, and knowing you at the through streams, I thought this was a great opportunity for us to have a sit down and really talk about what was going on, and because I'm very, very invested in this project. I really want to see these 80s toy commanders.
80s commanders, yeah.
Sorry, Ramen toy 80s commander. I got it.
That's right. You got it. You got it.
Over myself here because I'm so excited. I really am looking forward to this toy line. I have to say, first of all, I think I speak for everyone here when I say I want to thank you, Ace, for making something like this happen. As we've talked about a little bit, this property really wasn't going anywhere. And the point is that there are people out there who are interested in this property. And I, for one, am looking forward to actually getting this in hand and seeing what it is that you can do with this property. And I'm very excited to see where this goes. So thank you, Ace. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Toy Slammer, his mind was blown. Sledge just has to leave. Good night, Sledge. Thank you for joining the stream. It was great to have you. Grandizer is going to ask that question. I think Grandizer, you're on our other stream, so we can probably answer that question later. Girl Fantasy, thank you for sharing your huntings. I can't buy them, so just enjoy toys through you. That's for me. So thank you, Girl Fantasy. Things are going to slow down a little bit for me because we are actually on our second shutdown here. But I do have some throwback Thursdays where I'm going to be showing some older hunts that I never showcased before. I hope you guys enjoy that. Mimetic Syntax. Sorry, Jay, I was answering the question in chat. Wasn't trying to drag up off-topic issues. You're not doing anything wrong, Mnemonic Syntax. Thank you so much for the insights. I just need to move the everything along because we're already at 2 hours. But thank you so much. You've been a great help to the chat. I think Ace will agree. Thin White Dork. Great handle. Thank you. That's amazing. Welcome to the stream. Okay, I haven't left. Will Ramen Toy what?
Docs customers.
I don't know what that is. What does that mean?
Yeah. So what happened is, if you allow me some time, Jay?
Sure, absolutely.
So what happened is that I am also running Caliber Wings, as you have seen from the background. And there is a misconception that when there are customers who are totally unreasonable and I make an example of them, I am accused of doxing them. The proper term is DOXX. But I don't see it this way. So what I'm doing is that this customer is completely out of line, right? So I'm just sharing onto my platform this customer and how he reacts, and showing people who are Caliber supporters what I'm having to deal with. So that is all the intention that was. There is never a mention of anything else besides just pulling the customer's comments and putting it onto my personal Caliber Wings Facebook platform for people to see. So it is a public but yet private platform. You only can see this if you come to Caliber Wings and if you know Caliber Wings. So, of course, I have gotten some advice and would be, in fact, stopping such action. But this is my explanation of why these things come into play. I'm a passionate guy, right? And I do my best to do things properly. When there's a customer complaint, I do my best to service the customer. And many customers can probably attest to this. But along the way comes a few people who are simply out to make trouble. And I'm simply just putting what they themselves said onto my platform to share. Now, is there a crime? Is it a crime to share what was being said nastily to me? You decide. That's what they say.
Well, as always, customer service is always a difficult thing. Thin White Dork, thank you for the question. Jason Lowry, thank you again very much for doing this. It's been great to watch. Thank you, Jason. Jimmy Z9K, I follow your Facebook group. Is there anywhere else I should be watching for updates?
No, Facebook is the way to go. Yeah.
Okay. So you don't have an Instagram account and you don't have a Twitter.
Yeah, my partner is working on Instagram and we have a Twitter, but it's difficult to be updating so many platforms, right? So Facebook is the way to go.
I think you should do. My personal opinion, I think you should do Instagram at the very least, because Instagram, it's easy to share those pictures, and I think people really love seeing your pictures. So I think
I'll get my dad.
And it's a Facebook platform anyway, so there might be a way to. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you can actually share your Facebook posts at the same time you share your Instagram. I think there's a button. You look it up. I think there's a button there that says you can join the two accounts and you can just actually share the post. The problem is you got to make sure to keep it like square.
Yeah,
You do,
yeah, exactly.
right? And then basically you can put the description, and it should
right.
don't quote me on that, but it should be okay.
Yeah.
Mark 44 Prime. I can't wait to see these figures finished. Good luck to both of you. Thanks for this, Jay. Keep up the great videos. I love coming to your channel. Thank you, Mark. This has been a great experience for me. That's for sure.
Thank you.
Will, thanks, guys. Nice stream, and have a good night. Good night, Will. Jason's having a conversation. Glenn, good night, Jay, and good day, Ace. Kia kala. Much respect from Alexandra and Glenn. Alexandra and Glenn, kia kala. Have take care of my brother. And Ace, you're getting a lot of support tonight.
Thank you.
Greg says, well, do you get an action figure in a case of ramen soup? There's a marketing platform for you, Ace.
Yeah.
Noel says, hearing Ace speak on his passion, excitement, and genuine interest in action figures, it's a matter of time until he is recognized as one of the most talented people in the industry.
Wow, that is heavy stuff.
High praise.
That's heavy stuff.
Praise.
Yeah.
Ace.
I'm not worthy.
Good night, Grandizer 12. Be safe, Noel and J-Ban. Yes, good night, Noel. Shane, sorry if you brought this up before, but can you have Ace chatted with Robo on the Foosh about your figures? He was a bit critical about your launch. So Ace, do you have anything to say about Foosh's comments?
First of all,
we're not going to incite you here, guys. We're just gonna. This is literally just a little thing, nothing.
So first of all, I was very impressed with Foosh's channel. He has. I've actually watched him review a few of the figures that I intend to buy, such as the classified GI Joe and Boba Fett from I think it was Mayfex and also Black Series, among the few. So I think Foosh has a great channel, and I'm also a content creator on YouTube, and I understand the effort and creativity involved in doing a channel that big. So he's currently at about 125,000 subscribers. So in fact, I was brought to my attention that actually Foosh talked about Ramen toy on one of his videos, and subsequently he did more updates. So I was very appreciative, and I even mentioned him on my live stream that I would be honored to have him review the 80s Commandos along with Pixel Dan. That's what I said, right? So when I did it all came about, I guess, when the folks on my Facebook page were trying to say that this could be a scam. It's an unproven company. They are calling you to order by email. It all seems very sketchy. They're asking you for payment up front, very bad. So yeah, of course, these are what is black and white, and anybody with a mind can see the black and white. If they don't understand the full picture, right? If they're just taking this out of context, then they can make a decision that this is something wrong. And me being myself, I like the banter. So what I said was I admitted on my Facebook to these comments that yes, I am a scammer, right? I admitted that we are the worst of the worst. That's my banter. That's the way of me trying to be reactive and yet not being rude or disrespectful. So I blame myself, right? I'm the scammer here. I'm the one who's going to cheat you of your money. Watch out, right? So that's what I said. So if anybody, again, who has the whole context and see the whole picture would know that this is not happening. But then again, yes, I could be advised that don't say this. You say it best when you say nothing at all, right? So this is a part of my nature that I have to control. I have to control and be calm. I cannot be the Hulk, right? I hulk up sometimes, and that's my. I'm not all a goody two shoe guy. So when I hulk up, I have a temper. It gets to me, then I react in a certain way. So that's what it is. Same thing for the customers who complain in a very unreasonable manner. I react and I put them and I share them with my platform. I share them with personal friends, even more stuff that I put on the public space in my Facebook, right? So, of course, I understand fully that, Foosh would say, I'll be careful with these guys. Yes, please be careful, right? Everybody should be careful, but I'm hopeful that once the product is out, that you could change your mind and everything's all good, because everything is all good with me. No problems there.
Yeah, I think that unfortunately, just with everything else, sarcasm, which the Foosh is very, very guilty of himself. I'm very guilty of sarcasm. But, sometimes when you want to deflect, some things, because obviously if somebody's coming at you, right, you don't want to antagonize them, but at the same time, you don't want to, seem too aggressive at the same time. But, things can be taken out of context like anything else. I will have to say though, Ace, you do have to control yourself once in a while.
Yeah, I have to. All right,
you got that knee-jerk reaction going really, really, really fast, right? But we're all human, right? So, once again, this is definitely it's at the end of the day, you have a lot of people who are rooting for you, and me included, and you got a lot of people hoping for something good. So I think that this is going to be a really interesting ride. I got to tell you, Ace. And of course, dealing with the public and dealing with customers can always be difficult. But at the end of the day, if everybody tries to understand each other, I think that's for the best. We're living in very difficult times right now. So you know what? Action figures and toys and things like these, which help bring joy to people. I think what you're doing, Ace, is commendable, bringing something which a lot of people love and a lot of people care about. I think it's something that is to be commended. Everything else aside, whatever else we've been talking about tonight, we'll get there when we get there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But for me, just like Foosh, I just want those toys, man. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Plastic is something I'm passionate about that, and it seems to be your passion too. So I'm gonna bring this up, but we're not gonna touch too far on it.
Yeah.
So,
okay. No worries. Yeah.
Thin White Dork. I think you and Ace can have a side conversation. I don't want to clutter this with that kind of conversation. Thank you for bringing it up, but we'll go on with that as things progress. Jason Lowry, how's okay? They're having conversation. Jason has to head to bed. Good night, Jason. We're gonna
be Jason.
This up right now too.
Yeah, soon. Yeah.
Diecast Fly, great interview, Jay. A pleasure. Take care, man. Shane says, "Okay, thank you, Ace. Thank you for that clarification." Kane, I loved Centurions since I was a kid. Perfect. And those toy junkies, y'all have a great night. Well, guys,
right? Yeah.
I think that this has been
a marathon
fun. I think we've all learned a lot tonight. I've certainly learned quite a bit about the toy industry, and thank you, Ace, for being here. And I don't have too many guests.
My pleasure.
I think you of course were my very first guest, so thank you very much again for coming on the stream. My other guests who have been on the show, I think that Radical Toys was my second guest, if I'm not mistaken. No, actually that's not true. You actually introduced another gentleman. Who I ended up having as a guest. He was a lot of fun. So thank you for sending him my way. That was a lot of fun. We got to see a lot of his collection. But yes, I want to thank everybody here for joining us tonight. This was incredible. I think that all of us learned a lot, and I am super excited for this toy line. Noel, thank you. Ace, thank you again for bringing this to everybody. One last time, I guess we'll ask. How can people find out about more about the toys, and where can we pre-order these things? Let us know.
Right. So if you head over to Facebook, you can search for Ramen Toys. That's RAMEN TOY, no S. Or you can just Google it. They'll have a link to our Facebook page. So go to the Facebook page and look at the prototype pictures and the videos that we put out. And there is a early bird offer that's ongoing where we are offering each figure at $65. Thereafter, the early bird period, it will be back to $89.90, at least from our platform selling. We are obviously looking for other partners that will take the stock on a wholesale level. And if that would actually help the shipping to your location by having somebody in your locality pick it up on wholesale, then that'd be great. The early bird offers starts from the 15th of April, which is ongoing, and it ends on the 1st of May. And we are actually invoicing for these early bird pre-orders by May 7th, following which the price will be adjusted back to $89.90 for us selling a B2C. And again, it's still ongoing for wholesale customers who wants to take it from us. And we are looking to finish tooling in 2 months from now. And the final delivery would be somewhere in middle to late October. And I'll be very happy to update on the Facebook once we are in test shot phase. And I'm also eager to show everybody the full colored samples, including how we will be painting the eyes and the hair on the figure's face, which is also a very important aspect. Back to you, Jay. Mike, your mic.
I still got to learn how to fix these things. This is just
right.
You're the expert here. You've taught me everything I know. So, guys, once again, I'd like to thank collector Ace Liber for being our special guest here tonight. It's been a pleasure. He's obviously taught me a lot about streaming, so this is something where I'm still learning, but I'm having a lot of fun. So, once again, Ace, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for bringing these amazing projects to us, and I hope for the very best, because I'm not going to lie, I really want these figures. So that's me giving my 100% pure geekiness out here, and I really want to see this project happen. So thank you very much. So I'm just going to sign off for right now, and I'm just going to do a few more. So Ace, if you just want to say goodbye, now's the time to do it.
Okay. I'll see you guys. Thank you so much for the stream. Thank you so much, Jay, for this opportunity. And I'll see you guys around the corner.
Thanks, Ace. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So once again, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining this, for joining us in this special kind of really fast meet and greet with Ace of Ramen Toy. I think we learned a lot tonight. I'm very, very, very excited for Toy Command, for 80s oh my gosh, see, my brain is all over the place. 80s Commander. I really want to see the Naval Commander, the Air Force Commander, and of course the Armor Commander. I'm very, very excited about this, and I hope you guys are too. Guys, as always, thank you for being on the stream. You guys are amazing. I'm just going to say goodbye to the last few folks here. Praise him forever, Ace Duke, 100%. And Noel, a wise man once told me, a lion does not concern himself with the opinions of sheep. Pass on to Mr. Ace, Mr. Ace, please. Thank you, gentlemen, and be blessed. Thank you so much, Noel. You are always a great friend to have on the stream. Shane McNeil, great stream, guys. Great insights, Jay and Ace. Thank you so much. And Toy Slammer, have a great night, everybody. Once again, everybody, have a great night. You guys mean the world to me. I really appreciate everyone for joining me on this stream. You guys have been amazing. This has been incredible. I think we've learned a lot. I think that this project is going to be one of a very exciting project going forward. I'm really excited. I don't know if you guys can tell that, but I really want these figures, and I hope that people will support this. I'm all in on it. You guys heard it from me. I'm going all in on these action figures, and it's not going to be something that's given to me. I am definitely putting my money in for this. I want to support this project. I want to make sure this project actually gets off the ground, and that's my commitment to this project, because I'm really looking forward to it. I had no idea that Ace was even part of this project. Now that he is, I had to get him on the stream, and I had to find out more about this project in my own little way. And I'm glad that each and every one of you joined us for this. This was amazing. Thank you once again, everybody, for joining us. Guys, as always, I hope everyone out there is doing well and staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Geek Proud.